Famous YouTube bloggers who've gone without a trace. When you think of a disappearance, you probably think of something loud. Sirens in the night, breaking news alerts, maybe a frantic search that grabs the world's attention. But online, a new kind of vanishing has emerged. It's quieter, almost creepy. It's that slow, sinking feeling when you realize a voice you used to hear every day has just stopped. It's the digital ghost, an abandoned profile, a final post left hanging in the void. Imagine a dancer's personal items found near a river, the scene staged with an unsettling stillness. Or a ghost hunter who deals with the unknown for a living, getting a threat from a very real person and is never heard from again. They were at the top of their game online, with communities of thousands hanging on every word. Then they were gone. These are the stories of Alana and Nicholas, two YouTubers whose viral fame turned into baffling mysteries that have left their communities searching for answers. Section 1. The Ghost Hunter's Final Warning, the Case of Paranormal Alana. In the early 2010s, paranormal investigation channels were all over YouTube. Among the grainy night vision videos and EVP recordings, one creator stood out because she brought a mix of serious research and real passion to the table. Her name was Alana, and her channel, Paranormal Alana, became a hub for anyone fascinated by the strange and supernatural. Alana wasn't just a ghost hunter. She was a fantastic storyteller. Her channel, started around 2014, was different. While other creators were all about jump scares and fake drama, Alana had a calm, analytical vibe that people found credible and interesting. She did deep dives into famous cases, historical hauntings, and all sorts of eerie phenomena. She talked to her audience like a fellow enthusiast sharing her research, not like a performer. Her voice was steady, her points were well made, and you could feel her passion in every video. She posted a mix of case files and personal vlogs, where she'd share her own thoughts and chat with her growing community. It was this blend of the creepy and the personal that made her so relatable. One video might be a detailed breakdown of a historic haunting, complete with old documents and photos. The next could be a casual vlog where she's laughing about a spooky experience she had. Viewers felt like they knew her. They trusted her, and her channel blew up. In just about a year, Paranormal Alana pulled in over 50,000 subscribers, which was a huge deal back then. Her breakout video, a sharp analysis of the mysterious death of Elisa Lam, became a cornerstone of the online true crime community. That video showed off her talent for weaving a clear story out of confusing facts, and it brought tens of thousands of new fans to her channel. She was clearly a rising star in the internet mystery world. She was even planning collaborations with other big names in the genre, like Rainbot, which signaled she was about to hit a new level of success. She seemed genuinely pumped about what was next. But the internet can be a dark place. For every supportive comment, there's a shadow. As Alana's fame grew, so did the wrong kind of attention. The darkness she explored in her videos started bleeding into her real life. It began, as it often does, with overly personal comments. Questions about where she lived, her family, her life offline. Then it got worse. In the summer of 2015, the tone of Alana's personal updates started to change. An unease crept into her usually open and friendly online presence. In a tweet, she mentioned she'd had a pretty scary stalking incident. Because of it, she announced she was leaving Facebook, putting up the first wall between her and her audience. It was a move to protect herself, but for her followers, it was the first sign something was very wrong. The threats weren't just invasive anymore. They were getting violent. Soon after, she tweeted again, sounding both shocked and grimly resigned. I'm actually surprised it took almost a year for me to get my first violent death threat, she wrote. Why are people dumb enough to post that stuff? It was a rhetorical question that highlighted the awful reality of being a public figure online, especially as a woman. But Alana didn't back down. In what would become her last public words, she didn't retreat in fear. Instead, she issued a direct and powerful warning. Her third tweet was aimed right at her tormentor. I mean, my one uncle is a cop, the other two are criminal lawyers, she wrote. Violently threatening me online will always turn out badly for you. It was a bold statement, a reminder that a real person with a real, protective family was behind the screen. Her final message was a warning to anyone hiding behind a keyboard. Regardless, internet laws are changing. You can't just threaten to brutally harm someone and get away with it anymore. Think before you type. And then nothing. On September 3rd, 2015, just days after that last, defiant warning, Alana vanished from the internet. It wasn't a slow fade, it was a total wipe. Her main channel, Paranormal Alana, was deleted. Her vlogging channel was gone. Her Twitter, which held the only real clues, was deactivated. Her Instagram, her Facebook, every single trace of her was erased. An email sent by her would-be collaborator, Rainbot, on September 6th bounced back. The email account didn't exist anymore. The sudden and complete nature of her disappearance shocked her followers. One day she was a thriving creator, and the next a digital ghost. No goodbye, no explanation. Just an empty space where her videos used to be. To her 50,000 subscribers, it was as if a ghost hunter had become a ghost herself. Theories started flying immediately. The timing was just too perfect, too chilling. The most terrifying theory was that her stalker had followed through on their threats. Did her brave, final warning push them over the edge? Was she kidnapped? Or worse, her disappearance felt like the last chapter of one of her own mystery videos. The very community she had built was now trying to solve the mystery of what happened to her. For years, that's where the story ended, on a deeply disturbing cliffhanger. Alana's case became a cautionary tale, a staple in internet mysteries, videos, and late-night Reddit threads. She was the ghost hunter who vanished, a symbol of the very real dangers hiding in the digital shadows. But this story might have another chapter. Years after she disappeared, information began to surface from other internet detectives and creators who knew her. The consensus that formed was that Alana was alive. The story goes that the stalking and threats had become so severe that she made the choice to pull the plug on her entire online life to protect herself and her family. The relief in knowing she was likely safe was immense. But it was bittersweet. A talented creator had been silenced, driven away from her passion by pure malice. Her story isn't about a paranormal entity, but a human one. The power of online harassment to destroy careers and turn lives upside down. She seems to have won her battle for safety, but the cost was the community she worked so hard to build. Her silence is a testament to a fight that forced her offline for good. While Alana's story is a chilling look at the dangers that can push someone offline, a deliberate choice to trade fame for safety, our next case is a story of a creator who vanished not just from the internet, but from the world. There are no clear answers here, no final message. Just a trail of bizarre clues and an emptiness that still echoes years later. This is the silent, unsolved disappearance of the dancer known as Sunspike. Section 2. The Dancer's Silent Exit. The case of Nicholas Surregger. The internet is full of people trying to get noticed, usually with loud, elaborate stunts. But Nicholas Surregger, known to his small but loyal YouTube community as Sunspike, was the exact opposite. His niche fame was built on something incredibly simple and human: the quiet joy of dancing. Nicholas wasn't a professional dancer. He didn't have a studio or slick choreography. His stage was the world. His videos, which he started posting in the early 2010s, showed him dancing in the most ordinary places: a grocery store, a laundromat, a quiet street, the back of a bus. He'd pop in his earbuds and just move, with a fluid, expressive style that was all his own. There was a contagious, unself-conscious freedom to it. He wasn't performing for the people around him. Most of them were totally oblivious, just going about their day. He was dancing for himself and, by extension, for his audience. His videos were short, usually under a minute, but they were little bursts of positivity. They were a quiet rebellion against the mundane, a way of finding beauty in the everyday. His channel, Sunspike, wasn't a viral juggernaut, but he had a devoted following. People were drawn to his gentle spirit and the calming vibe of his content. The comments were full of encouragement, with people saying his dancing made their day or inspired them to be more comfortable with who they are. He had carved out a small, peaceful corner of the internet. By 2017, Nicholas, then 28, seemed to be doing well. He was living and working in Bend, Oregon, and still making the videos that brought a little bit of joy to so many. But the quiet joy that defined his channel would soon be replaced by a quiet, terrifying mystery. In the last week of his known existence, Nicholas Surregger's friends and family said he began acting uncharacteristically strange and erratic. The specifics have remained private, but the people who knew him agree that something was wrong. It's a frustratingly vague but critical piece of his disappearance. Was he in trouble? Was he having a personal crisis? Or was something darker going on? The questions just hang there, unanswered. The last confirmed sighting of Nicholas was on April 28, 2017. He was with a friend, a man named Austin, who later became a focus of speculation. What happened that day, and in the hours that followed, is the core of this whole mystery. What we know for sure is what was found, and what was found makes this case so deeply strange. On the bank of the Deschutes River in Bend, Oregon, a small, neatly arranged collection of his personal items was discovered. A single boot, a pair of pants, a flashlight. They all belonged to Nicholas. The scene was bizarrely calm. No signs of a struggle, no blood, nothing to suggest violence. Just these few items, left behind as if he simply walked away from them, and from everything else. Crucially, the essential items were missing. Nicholas's wallet was gone. So were his keys. His phone, a modern-day lifeline, was also gone. People don't normally leave their ID, money, and keys behind to go for a swim. The items left behind felt intentional, almost symbolic, but the meaning is impossible to know. The discovery kicked off a huge search. The Deschutes River is cold and fast, and the first theory was that Nicholas had fallen in and been swept away. Search and rescue teams scoured the river and its banks. Divers braved the freezing water. Volunteers, friends, and family walked for miles, calling his name, hoping for an answer that never came. Days turned into weeks. The search found nothing. Nicholas Surregger was gone. As the official search wound down, the community's own investigation heated up. All eyes turned to the last person known to have seen him, his friend, Austin. According to online discussions, Austin's behavior after Nicholas vanished raised red flags. His story of what happened that day was reportedly inconsistent and vague. Friends said Austin got defensive and uncooperative when they pressed him for details. Eventually, he cut off all contact with Nicholas's friends and family, hiding behind a wall of silence. To be clear, law enforcement has never named Austin as a suspect or person of interest. Without his side of the story, all we have is speculation. But in a case with so little information, his actions created a cloud of suspicion that has never really gone away. With no body and no confession, the theories about what happened to Nicholas fall into three heartbreaking camps. First is the theory of a tragic accident. This theory suggests that Nicholas, maybe in a distressed or altered state, went to the river and something went wrong. Perhaps he went for a swim and underestimated the cold, or he slipped and fell. It's plausible and would explain his disappearance without foul play. But it doesn't quite explain the strange scene with his belongings. Why take off one boot? Why leave pants and a flashlight, but take your wallet and keys? The scene feels too deliberate for a simple accident. The second theory is foul play, with suspicion pointed, fairly or not, at his friend Austin. In this scenario, some kind of argument or fight led to Nicholas's death. Austin, panicking, might have disposed of the body and staged the scene at the river to look like a drowning or voluntary disappearance. This would explain his alleged evasiveness. But with zero evidence of a crime, no weapon, no witnesses, no body, this is pure speculation. The third theory is that Nicholas chose to disappear. Some think his strange behavior was him preparing to start a new life. He could have staged the scene to make people think he was dead. This is a common hope in missing persons cases, that the person is still out there, just somewhere else. But this clashes with the Nicholas his friends and family knew. He was described as a kind person who was close to his family. It seems unlikely he would put them through such lasting pain. Years have passed, and the case of Nicholas Sunspike Sareger is now cold. He is still officially a missing person. His family has never given up looking for answers. His YouTube channel is now a digital memorial, a collection of joyful moments frozen in time, haunted by the deep, unsolved mystery of his final days. Unlike Alana's story, there's no bittersweet resolution here. There's just a void. A kind, creative person who brought a gentle art to the world walked to a riverbank one day and was never seen again, leaving behind a few possessions and a universe of unanswered questions. The cases of Alana and Nicholas are two different kinds of modern mysteries. One a deliberate escape from a world that became too dangerous, the other a complete and unsolved vanishing. What do you think is the most plausible theory in Nicholas Sareger's disappearance? Do you believe Alana made the right choice? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The discussions are what keep their stories from being forgotten. The internet gives us a strange kind of closeness to people we've never met. We invite them into our homes through our screens, listen to their stories, and cheer them on. But the stories of paranormal Alana and Sunspike are a powerful reminder of how fragile that connection is. Alana's story shows us the dark side of being seen. It reveals how the same platform that builds community can be used as a weapon, turning a passion into a source of fear. Her digital self was the price she paid for peace of mind. Nicholas's story is a different kind of haunting. It's a true void, a puzzle with no solution. It shows that even in an age where everything feels tracked and recorded, a person can still step out of the frame and simply be gone. His silent exit reminds us that behind every online account is a real person with all their complexities and vulnerabilities. These two creators, a ghost hunter and a dancer, are now digital ghosts themselves. One by choice, one by an unknown fate. Their abandoned channels stand as monuments to their work and as eerie reminders of their sudden departures. They are famous online, then gone without a trace, leaving us all to wonder about the lives behind the screen and the stories that will never be finished. What you think about this story? Write in the comment your opinion. On my channel, you can watch other revenge or cheating stories. See you soon, my dear viewer.